Salam guys, jipigeni makofi. Hi, wajinga sisi. The judiciary has been captured by the executive. I would want to get excited and be happy, but I know I just cannot. I know. Relief for Kenyans as court halts implementation of the controversial cybercrime law. This is not a first. It happened with education funding model. It happened with the sale of KPC. It happened with affordable housing. And now we are here. It even happened to Faith Odhiambo. Just after accepting that position, what happened? The judiciary halted the whole process of compensation of the victims. Nyinyi mnaona ile mchezo inachezwa? Nyinyi mnaona ile mchezo inachezwa? This is not a first. This is a trend. Anyway, we also have other bills to fix, other bills that have been passed to law, and we need to fix them as well. So as they do what they must, we also do what we must. Salam guys, but for me this is just not a win. I see a trend between the executive and the judiciary.
An entire semester gone because I'm one of the students in the universities. Na hakuna masomo imefanyika. Imebakisha tu November semester mzima iishe. Na hapa ndio shida ya universities ilianzia. I want you to read this one and read it very carefully. Kama ni kitambo, universities ingegoma hivyo na watu hawasomi, student leaders walikuwa nakusanya students, wanaenda kwa street, wanauliza kwa nini hawasomi. And the government used to act. The university lecturers need only 11 billion. Hii pesa yenye Ruto anafanya empowerment nazo. But nowadays, masomo kukosa university, it is not an issue. Zimeisha tu hivyo. Most of these student leaders unaona hapa, anytime wakiuliza kwa nini masomo haiendelei ama wakisukumwa na students, nasikia huwa wanapigiwa simu na patron, wanaulizwa, kababa, kwani umekosa za weekend? Nikutumie, wacha nikutumie za weekend, utulize akili kidogo. Because these people, they think kila kitu Kenya ni kuhongana. Kila kitu Kenya ni kuhongana. Look, an entire semester in the university. Maisha ya watu imeisha tu hivyo semester mzima. Hakuna kusoma, but it's not even news. To make it worse, it is not even news. It is not even urgent that university watu wanastahili kuwa wanasoma. But you're right, this is our new country.
This is extremely disturbing and it validates whatever I've been saying for the past 1 year. So please watch till the end. As we all know, if you are Kenyan, that the president signed 8 bills into law. Let's focus on one, the privatisation bill, because that is one among many that they don't want us to focus on. Before we even start, I want us to note a few things, that this bill, Amahi privatization bill, it aims to generate gap year 110 billion revenue. Mind you, this government loses 3 billion a day. So it will take us about 40 days to come up with this whole amount. But this government loses 3 billion daily to corruption. Also, once these farms have been sold, it will take 8 years before we start the reversal process of selling these things. And mind you, these things are very important to our country. Now let's focus on one, the Kenya Seed Company, because it's among the 11 farms that have been cleared to be sold. Now this Kenya Seed Company is responsible for all our agriculture inputs, all of them, from the seeds to the fertilizers to pesticides, especially kwa farmers wa maize, wao ndio wana rely completely 100% on Kenya Seeds. It do research on the seed that can grow for this season na yield etc. In short, wao ndio tunategemea kwa agriculture sector yetu. Now President Ruto amepeana go ahead to sell that company. I also want you to remember that in the last video that I did, ule msi wa Milango alisema he's going to invest all his fortune, 99% of his fortune, to Africa. And he said he's going to invest in healthcare, agriculture, that is food security, and education. Also, kwa other things that are going to be sold, they are going to tackle healthcare, and also our Kenya Bureau of Literature has been sold. oil is going to be sold. It has been cleared. It's among the 11 farms that have been cleared to be sold. Now, back to this Kenya Seed Company. Recently, just this week, the government announced that it's going to introduce GMO cassavas to 18 counties. Mind you, Kenya has no shortage of cassavas. So why do we need GMO cassavas? And why can't we actually do organic cassavas and not GMO cassava? Before you come for me, uniambie, oh, GMO zita ensure we have food security. You can watch my previous video that has shown ule msee wa milango vile alienda to other African countries to introduce these things. Poverty levels went up and food insecurity, ama watu kukosa food, went up by 30%. Kenya unafaa ujiulize basi, then who benefits when we eat these GMOs? We have to look at those case studies zenye zisha happen na zisha kuwa successful. Let's look about the USA. USA, because huko ndio majority of these people wametoka, wao ndio walianza kutumia GMOs kitambo. And you can see their level of obesity iko very high, and also the levels of these lifestyle diseases iko very high, being among the first countries zenye zina consume medical za hizi lifestyle diseases. Now, in Kenya, hiyo bado haijakuwa a thing bado. Kumbuka, this Kenya Seeds Company pia ndio inatuuzia fertilizer. And as we already know, NTV ilisha expose hizi fertilizers that zina cause cancer. Especially walikuwa wamefocus more na watu wa Nyandarua. So unapata watu wa Nyandarua wakitumia hizi pesticides zinawapatia cancer. Now all of these things, when you eat food that is not good for you, when you use fertilizers and pesticides that are not good for you, you will end up wapi? Hospital. Now, this mtu pia wa milango, pia he wants the health sector. So, you can actually tell why they're coming to Africa. It is untapped potential, it is an untapped market, and they just want to come and make big money. Off of what? Our bodies. And this goes to validate whatever I've been saying for the past 1 year. We are being colonized and we don't know it.
So we understand the Cybercrimes bill has been temporarily blocked by the High Court, and that's good news. Now the other news is for us to understand that there are other more pressing, because I think also the Cybercrimes bill could have been a plant to become the thing that people think is going to be the win. And if you win this, the rest of the 7 bills can sail through silently. So now I want us to focus on privatization and the fact that you have the triple threat. You have the privatization, you have the issue of GMOs, and of course now allowing land and others to be owned by foreigners under the new dispensation. So we know Kenya Seed is slated for privatization, which means then there will not even be a national element or resource to take care of our foods, our seeds, and that now they'll all come through private capital and private players. And as such, we know, considering Ruto had gone to when his first trip in America, he was talking to John Deere, borrowing or begging for trucks, and of course introducing GMOs. We know that this has been in the works for quite a while. That's why you can see the progressive privatization and the sectors that have been put for renewal. For privatization. The other problem is, of course, the water element. But right now, to avoid even the GMO element taking place, as we also now go into water, because water is being exploited in very marginalized areas, places that people don't even know it is happening. We are talking northeastern Kenya, we're talking northern Kenya, we're talking southeastern Kenya. That is now Ukambani areas, coastal, Tana River, all the way to Moyale, the border, and then Turkana. That's why water is being harvested. And those people don't know because they are primarily in dry places. So we are watching those others. So this is a slight win. It could also be a delayed win, delayed loss, so that it is pushed. But the further we can push it, so that things don't get enacted, and we push them so that by the time we are removing William Ruto from presidency, we can come back and now have better laws, and these are scraped, the better for us. So delay, divert, delay, and then refuse. So let's be vigilant, but this is not a bad win. Asanteni.
Here are the examples of the narratives that have been used by the political class to delude voters into voting for them. Number 1 was an actual masterpiece in 2022, the hustler versus the dynasty narrative. What many voters forgot in that time is that Mr. Ruto, who was from the hustler side, was also a dynasty person. And the bottom-up narrative, which he touched on Mama Mbogas and Watu Boda Bodas, worked perfectly on Kenyans. Number 2 was actually really funny, which was Mr. Raila, who was promising Kenyans to take them to Canaan, and that actually worked perfectly well. Number 3 was the narrative that was used by Ruto, which they went with the narrative that they are tired of old Kenyans ruling Kenya, and that the new millennial class, the new Gen X class, which understood the problems of the youth, and they were going to advocate for policies which favored the youth. In hindsight, all these narratives seem really stupid if you think about them. So I wonder which narrative will be used in 2027.
Na hiyo kifua Raila ni kama flood, maji, mafuriko. Itaosha ujinga mingi, both Central na Nyanza. Pale Central kuna leaders huwa hawafanyi anything. Siasa yao tu ni wena goma, Raila ni modo mogoroki, jaruo geke. Kama ufanyi kazi raundi, hauna chance. Kazi yako inakuwa kutaja Raila ndio upate kuelektiwa. Home, direct, bila job raundi. Home, pale Nyanza, kuna watu wanakuwa wameshikilia koti ya Raila hivi. Miauru baba konyo teach, baba malo. Kuna kitu kama hiyo, raundi bila job, home. Yo kifua Raila naenda kuosha upuzi mingi kwa ground. Wena modo kweri, jaruo geke. One mwamako baba, watkonyo baba malo. Kuna hiyo siasa raundi.
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mingi. All I want to say is Ruto must go, like yesterday. Bye.
Ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile. Ama niko high, jua lies nice.
Kono moja mbele, gine yende rembe. Pile up, yoni.
Enyewe Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. Wash fire, Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go.